Hi friends, Renee Keese here with Carolina Creative. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with card making ideas for you. Today I'm going to make something called an Accordion Z-fold, and I'm going to keep these dimensions beside me on my work table here so that you can follow along and see what I'm doing. The cutting and scoring is a little bit unusual. It's not going to be your standard 5.5 by 4.25. So let me just get started with my cutting here and show you my work area. I've got my trimmer and I've got my dimensions. So I'm going to start by cutting the basic card at 11 by 5.5. So we already know this is 8.5 by 11. I've got the 11. This is now set at 5.5. So let me go ahead and cut that. And now I need to score this in order to make the Z-fold. So I am going to use my light gray scoring tool. And I'm going to score first at 1 3/4. So I just slide over here to 1 3/4. Make sure I've got it flush. Get it nice and straight. So there's the first one. Then I go over to 3.5. So here's 3.5, score again, 5.25. Make sure I've got that right. Yep, 5.25. And then again at 7. All right, so there is my basic card layout. I'll start folding and doing that in just a minute. My next piece is a layer that is 6.5 by 3.25. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure 6.5. There's 6.5. So that's my total length. And cut that. And now I want 3.25. So this is the inside part of the fold. 3.25. And then what I'm going to do is score this in half. So I'm going to score at 3.25. And that should be a half of the 6.5. There we go. So that's the first part. Now, I'm not done with my trimmer. The other thing that I'm going to use today before I start playing with assembling this is instead of picking designer paper, I'm using the Celebration Memories and More card pack. And so this gives you a bunch of different really cute cardstock, front and back. Oh, I got pieces flying here. And I'm going to use both sizes. I'm going to use a 6x4 and then one of these 3x4. And I'll show you why I picked those in just a minute, because they're going to kind of fit my card base. So I need this to be 3 inches. I'm sorry, this is already 4. Yes, I need it to be 3 because it's going to fit this. Oh, I need one more piece, and I forgot to grab another piece of paper. So let me grab another piece of orange cardstock. When it goes together, there's another piece that goes on the inside, and I thought I had all my parts and pieces here, and I don't. So let me grab, and this should work. It needs to be 3.25, like this. So it will fit, it'll match this. 3.25, and then the other piece, I'm double checking myself, needs to fit here, so it's just under 3.5 if I remember my dimensions here. Yeah, that's just under 4, so let's make it just over 3.5. 3, there's my half, there we go. Okay, so that's the other piece that goes on the inside. So now, in order to fit this, I'm going to use a piece of the Memories and More. I need to trim like 1/4 inch off of either side. Let's do this where I can see this, so that it'll fit. There's 1/4. This is going to make sense in just a minute. And then let me do 1/4 off the other side, and it should fit just right. 3 1/4. There's a lot of goofy dimensions here, but it almost used that whole piece, which is why I thought this was so cool. So I might need to trim just a smidge more to give a little bit more border, but you get the idea. I'm gonna just do that little smidge. All right, so that fits that. And now in order to fit this piece, I need this to be 3 inches. So I'm going to trim 1 inch off the top. Because we made this piece 3 1/4, I want a 3-inch piece to go across. And that would be very cute. And then I'm going to cut this in half. I want 2 3-inch pieces. And that was the reason, because it was already 6 inches. I've got my 2 pieces there. So now I've got all my parts and pieces. I'm going to start laying this out, and you'll see how this makes more sense. Okay, so in order to make the accordion fold, I've got all of these score lines, and I'm just going to use my bone folder to make the accordion. Watch this, back and forth, and back and forth. They're all even. And so now we have this accordion. So what's going to happen is this piece goes in here, like this. And we'll glue that in just a moment. And then this piece goes inside. It lines up once I start assembling this. And I will probably center this in there so that when I put the front panel on that makes this Z-fold, it will cover that. And we still have a place to write. Okay, so I kind of show you how it's going to go together. So let me start with the inside. And I'm going to glue this piece together. And then I'm going to do a little bit of stamping because I do want to put a sentiment in there. Oh, I love this side. The pretty zigzag is just so colorful. I'll have to use that in another card soon. Okay, so I've got orange border on all sides. I'm just going to slide that up just a smidge. There's that. And now I'm going to put, I'll just open this up, put the cute cardstock this way. And that's going to go, part of it will be inside the card. So again, I'm going to adhere this. I could have used my Stampin' Seal. I may mix it up and use it on the front piece. It's whichever adhesive is your favorite, really. So let's do it a little bit of both. That and this. Okay? And line this up so that they match. All right. Now, I do want to put happy birthday in there. So I looked for a stamp that said happy birthday that wasn't too big because I want to leave room to write in there. You'll see I also pulled out, I went to my more messages where I've already stamped all these sentiments. So I pulled out some that were going to match my colors. I've got a little timid tiger here. This was lemon lime twist. So I don't need the happy birthday because I'm going to stamp it in here, but I've got a couple. I've got, oh, happy day, time to celebrate. So I'm going to play with those. So I think I'm going to continue with, well, what color should I use? Maybe I should use my lemon lime twist. Let's try that. I think that would actually be kind of cool. It's going to match the color all around it. So let's go happy birthday, and I'm just going to stamp it kind of in this upper corner. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And now there is room, to still write a message in there. So I've got that. All right. So now it's going to come the tricky part. I think I'm going to put, let's mix up, oh, happy day, and then time to celebrate. I could flip those yeah, I kind of like that. it's just, there were so many different sentiments. And so it works with all the colors in the candles, and it looks like fireworks, you know, up there. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and use my liquid glue again, because it's right here, and put, oh, happy day, and put time to celebrate right here. And this is just going to be really fun. I'm going to put that at an angle like that. So now for the biggest trick. And this is to put this so that it will still open as a Z-fold. So what I'm going to do is put my adhesive here and here. And I'm going to do this last piece last, that inside last. Adhesive here just on the end and here on the end. And I am going to use my Stampin' Seal for this. You could use Seal Plus too. I have done this before with liquid glue. It gives you a little bit of play. So now I just need to line this up where I want it. And basically I'm looking at my edge here because I want it to come, I want it to reveal the green. So I'm looking at that, and then I'm looking at this lines up, and I'm just going to press, and it's going to go ahead and adhere on both sides. And so now it opens this way. I'm showing you at an angle so you see the accordion fold, and from the front it opens this way. So the last step is to put this inside, and I'm just going to line it up so that it matches here and here. And I want to make sure that I still have my reveal there. So yes, that is going to work, and I will probably look at this before I adhere it. So I may use the liquid glue for this in case I need to scoot just a little bit, but I'm looking at how much edge I've got there. Okay, so this is liquid glue going on my inside double panel here because I've got two types of cardstock. So I'm going to line, I'm just looking at lining this up here and here, here and here, leaving, yes, I did that correct. Leaving my reveal of my green, so it's still a surprise when you open it because you see there is more orange in there. I'm just going to take my Wink of Stella and kind of put some shimmer on these cute little candles. They're every color. We have blue and orange and yellow and green and pink. They're just everything. And a little bit on the candle flames as well. Yeah, fun. And I think if I have handy my In Color Gems, yes. These are the 2025 to 2027 In Color. So it has all of these, and they're flat pearls. It has all of these colors. Here we go. And I'm going to put them right on the front. So I need a little splash of orange. I'm going to put it inside there. I'm going to put strawberry slush over here. And maybe I'll put one more on the inside. Let's go with Cloud Cover. I will show you this in just a second. Okay, so that's basically the card. You could go crazy with paper and put it, you know, behind this panel on the inside. I kept this one kind of simple so that you really do focus on the pattern of that Z-fold. So there's my Z-fold, and then it reveals the card on the inside. I'll show you this from the side. So there's the accordion, and then the orange insert is the Z-fold. You could keep this all one color. You know, I was just using a variety of colors that are in that card stock right there. And so it's just really fun. It's a fun, festive card. So this is the Accordion Z-fold. The dimensions are here, and they've been beside me as I was working, so you can refer to that. There's my card making tip for today, an Accordion Z-fold. It's another fun fold. And I used that on Memories and More pack just to make it simple. If you like the products and the projects you've seen here, you can find me at Carolina Creative or hashtag Carolina Creative. I'm also on the Stampin' Up! Network. It's Renee Keese at StampinUp.net. Thanks for joining me today. Watch for the next video.